I'm Tabitha Rock.
And I'm Sam Davenport.
Born and bred in Melbourne, we live and breathe property, and we know the Melbourne market like the back of our hand. We've both been buying and selling real estate in Metro Melbourne for over 2 decades combined, and we've learned a few lessons along the way. The Property Culture Podcast, Sam Davenport.
Tabitha Rob.
Last episode of the year. Can you believe it? We made it through another bonkers year.
Another year. And do you know, I was looking at all my past deals.
Oh, yeah, were you?
Yesterday. Yeah. Just to see, I was organising presents for people I've forgotten. So if I've forgotten you, I'm sorry.
You need to start making a list throughout the year, not trying to get to the end and then look back.
What I was saying yesterday, how I'm just so bad, how at the end of the year I expect I can remember everything.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at deals from June, July. That feels like a decade ago.
Oh, 100%.
10 years ago.
Well, I actually also looked through the deals of 2025.
Had to scroll a few pages.
Sam, we've hit the magic 3 of how many clients we've assisted in 2025, over 100.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I was like, 3 what?
3 what? Over 100 clients.
Oh, that's great. But so many of them did multi-deals with us.
I know. Well, the buying and the selling, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think
we've assisted over 100 people.
We have assisted over 100. And, we saw so many of those people at our little Christmas party just a mere 3 weeks ago.
Is that 3 weeks ago?
I don't know, but I'm just guessing. By the time this loads, it might have been 2 months.
Yes, it will be.
But yeah, and we saw so many of them at our end of year celebrations. Can't call it Christmas party anymore. But it was so good, reminiscing. I had people showing me their renovation pictures, inviting me around for glasses of wine. Oh, it was a feel-good event.
It was amazing. And Sammy obviously nailed it with the brief and everything that she booked in and organised. It was so nice to be able to turn up and no one was really looking to talk to me. Yeah. So nice. In terms of the people who were there to run the night.
Because we had some entertainment.
Oh, didn't we just? My God,
that was fun. The casino theme really did it for me.
Casino Royale.
Mm-hmm.
Pop Culture 2025 Casino Royale.
And I think the next morning, weren't we planning the next one?
Oh, yeah. We were texting each other like, this. We've got it planned.
We've got it planned. So for all our lovely past clients that listen to this, which you probably don't because you're so over real estate,
totally.
Watch out for the invite. It's going to be good.
Well, considering how many bodies were in that space, I'm like, do we need a bigger venue? But I love that venue.
I love it too. So we hold it at the space that we work at that has this great communal area that opens out onto this terrace and it's got city views. And thankfully the last 2 end of year celebrations, we've had immaculate weather with gorgeous red skies.
I know.
Really turning it on.
Sunset behind the city we love and work in. I know. But we're blessed, right?
We are blessed.
We're lucky.
Blessed.
Yeah.
Ick. Ick. I've done a few ickies
already.
This podcast year.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What have we said?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I get a little nervous when people reminisce the podcast to me when I haven't recently listened to it because I was like, what did we say? I think probably the most memorable podcast of the year was the one talking about agent activities and Sam describing an agent bending over a sink.
I know.
Actually, also the one where you said your hidden talent. I think that one also got a few comments.
Because it's the way that I say it, which it sounds ridiculous. I said turning my feet to the back. That's like crazy. But also the agent bent over the kitchen sink. So it was like drinking from the tap.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is she saying?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You're a storyteller.
Every agent who has come up to me about that, they all know what we're talking about. They know exactly what we're saying. Most of them have done it.
Well, I think we'll probably need part 2 to that because the number of agents that are like, oh, I've got a story for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, come name yourself, come on the podcast.
I know. Who should we get?
Yeah, we should.
Guests.
Actually, if you've got any suggestions of great guests we should have, we've already got a few in the pipeline for 2026. But yeah, maybe another agent because we got good feedback having Simon on this year from Abercrombie's. He was great. But yeah, who else are we thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to get this is so dry, but I think a tax depreciation person or a valuer.
Jesus Christ.
I know. That went south.
Do you know, it's so funny because it's like even for me doing these podcasts with you, I love doing the ones just the two of us. Like, because it's just blah, 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 blah. We talk all day long as it is. And so then in here it's just a continuation of that with some structure. With some structure, people. We've got some structure.
We have notes.
We've got notes. I've done a little bit of research for the next episode, don't worry. But with people coming in as a third party, it is an interview process almost. So it's very different. And whenever I re-listen to it, I'm always like, I don't know, is that like boring? But people love the information. And it's always, everyone's got, of course, naturally people have got their own personal interests in life. And so some people loved the talk with the architect. A lot of people loved, obviously all the agents loved the one with the agents. Guy did a great job. The commercial agent that we had on, he did a great job. I thought his was really interesting to me. But yeah, who do we get next? It's got to be.
I don't know. Well, how many episodes have we done? We're running out of friends to have on on the show.
Well, now for all of those people who have been on the show with us, thank you so much. You're not the only person of your kind that we know, so we might get a secondary mortgage broker. We might get a secondary building inspector. We might get another selling agent. You know, it happens.
It happens. We
know
flirt
them
with
all.
a few.
We flirt with a few. We have to.
Yes, we do. But the year in review, you mentioned Sammy. She started with us and she's just absolutely killing it.
We love our Sammy.
Clients love her. We love her. She's here to stay.
I know.
I mean, we should get her to sign something or something.
Yeah, do we? Is that time for that? We need to do that. She's
any HR lawyers out there, give us a buzz.
Yeah.
But no, she's been such a great addition to the team.
Yeah.
Sadly was too ill for the Christmas party.
I know.
Our little team Christmas party, but that's all right. We'll redo next year because that was going to be fun. But yeah, over 100 clients that we've helped. I'm so impressed with that. And I think we've really seen towards the end of the year a shift towards assisting probably more investors.
Massive.
And I think that investors are really loving working with us because I think there's just so many. I mean, someone asked me the other day, so how many of those AI programs are you using for what you do? And I said, that's actually like 1%. Like it's like when a new client comes to us and they're like, I can look on realestate.com. I only want you for the off markets. I'm like, that's probably 1%. Finding the property and doing all the due diligence around that, not the most important part of the deal.
Yeah.
How we assist our clients is the making it happen, getting the best price, doing the negotiations with the agent, navigating that part and the property securing part of the process.
Yeah.
No, sorry, AI person can't do that. And so I think that that's just where we're always going to win for our clients. But with these investors, they're coming to us and we're saying we buy for a lot of owner-occupiers, and that's actually the important part of your investment purchase is buying it with that owner-occupying lens. Because I said to someone, like, we can buy you a house that's got a reverse floor plan. The yield won't have any difference to a good floor plan where it's not a reverse floor plan. But actually the growth will be very different because an owner-occupier won't want that sort of floor plan. So it won't perform as well as the other type of floor plan.
Exactly.
So if we just came at that with an investment lens, we would be doing a disservice to our clients. So I think that that's been really great to sort of see that that's the differentiator. Differentiator, point of difference for these investor clients.
Yeah.
That it is a very different conversation, and we're happy with that. We aren't your investment machine working off property clocks.
Yes.
That's just not where we sit in the market. And if you want that, because you are an analytical person, we ain't right for you. But if you want to sort of really understand who your future buyer is going to be and really get a person that's going to be great at the negotiation and the putting the deal together, that is us. And I've seen that 2025 more than ever for these investor clients.
I know, particularly because the market conditions, it's just been such a funny year from a market conditions perspective. I mean, I feel like even across the markets I just work in versus the markets we work in and then the greater Melbourne markets, that there is just so many different everything's
markets
operating differently.
Yeah.
I mean, Stonington, sorry, I don't know what's happened to Stonington.
Yeah.
Does anyone want Stonington anymore? What's happened? What's happening there? What's going on there?
Yeah.
And then you've got obviously growth corridors have gone gangbusters. Love that word.
Do you?
I don't know. Not really. Bananas. I prefer bananas.
Yeah.
Though growth corridors have gone bananas.
I was definitely going to say, now we want the Gwen Stefani. Was it her that sung?
B-A-N-A-N-A-S-H.
Yeah, over the top.
It's bananas. But obviously they've gone absolutely insane. Any property under $1 million on any form of land, bananas.
Yeah, gone up 20%.
Yeah, 20% overnight. And now they're no longer under $1 million. It's like, does anyone still want these? You know, what's going on?
Well, actually, the next episode we do, let's talk about a case study of one of these investment purchases that you've done down along the bay, because I think there's some really key takeaways for buyers at the moment. So and you've done quite a few transactions down there, a lot of them off market, although
do you know what I worked out? One in the last 6, only one was on market.
Wow.
Because we'll talk about it in the next
Yes,
episode.
we will. Yeah. But I think that in the last couple of weeks in December, it's funny, I chatted to clients at the start of December and I said, sign on, because there's some weirdness in the market in a December period where, yes, you might not get any stock, but you also might get some really good stock that they just want to finalize before the end of the year, and we can get some really, really good deals. And honestly, I've bought the last 4 have been off market, and I'm jealous of every single one.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Isn't it funny when you're literally jealous of the purchase? You're I want this one for myself.
And it's so funny because, and I bang on about this all the time at the moment, is quote ranges. And actually, that's what's made headlines. We should talk about reserve prices, but is quote ranges what they sell for and then what an off-market asking price is, or a failed auction, and then that asking price. I think it's so fascinating. I just bought one for a client which passed in at auction. It had a high quote. It was reduced. Then we snapped it up on the Thursday after the auction.
Yeah.
But a property that was so inferior to it had a quote range, same suburb, had a quote range of 1 to 1.1. Mind you, I got through it pre-market, so they hadn't done the pre-sale works, which I think people don't realise how yin and yang a property looks.
Yes.
It looks like 2 completely different homes.
It looks like 2 different price points.
100. So 1 to 1.1 sold for 1,325 or something crazy. So we paid $20,000 more than that one, and it is a substantially better house.
Yeah.
But my clients, just quote ranges.
Yeah, it's buyer mentality, and seller mentality too. A buyer wants to pay as little as possible, and a seller wants as much as possible. And it's really, typically it's a real estate agent's job to navigate bringing those two together. How are we going to get this person to come up to a perceived level of overpaying when in fact they were always going to come to that level, and they have come to that level and put it on paper? So in their kitchen, at their kitchen table, perhaps they had discussions for an uncomfortable max budget at those levels, but that can often be hundreds of thousands over what they would, ideally like to pay. I mean, even with our clients, we have so many clients who will say to us, well, if we can get it for this, yeah, cool, me too.
Yeah.
Everyone at that level. I often will say to people, yeah, we'll have 10 buyers at that price. But we have to talk about what is going to secure just you the home. You are the one who buys it. You've got all these people left in your wake who were all prepared to pay $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, and now you're at $7. You've secured it. You've only paid $2 more than the next bidder.
Yeah.
But you are the buyer. So how do you navigate, getting buyers to those levels? And then vendors are, they can often start the process up here. And often, I mean, particularly in the higher value properties, they'll sell $500,000 less.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of the price drops I've seen in the last couple of weeks, they're $400,000 price drops.
How interesting is this? I had a client say that an agent said that they should sell in the first half of next year because once the reserve price disclosure things comes in.
I think I might have had a conversation with this person.
The market will tank. And I'm like, I think it's going to be disastrous for the Melbourne market, the reserve price disclosure, which I know controversial. I've made the TikTok video about it. I've had all the people come at me in the comments. So I've heard it all. But I honestly think because people don't really get reserve prices and that a reserve price is quite a fluid number. One person in the comments said, no, I set a reserve price right from the start and that's what it was right at the end.
Great.
Cool.
You're one of a million. Yeah.
And that is not the norm. We have been involved in thousands and thousands of transactions and I can tell you that is the outlier.
Yeah.
The reserve price goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, it stays the same, yes. But it is not this fixed number that 7
the whole
days
way through.
Or 7 days out from the auction.
Yeah.
Because what if a property sells in your street that means that now you expect more for your home if it sells in your street that week of your auction?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that will adjust your number.
Yeah. Or what if or alternatively, your neighbouring property that's a, mirror image of yours falls flat and sells for a really low price. I mean, you might need to adjust down. And if you set your reserve too high, you've skimmed the market now, no buyer is coming and now you've lost your opportunity to sell. Yeah, there's so many ways in which.
It's like, okay, why does Victoria have such a visceral reaction with like auctions, quoting, underquoting, overquoting? Like I never hear any media talk about any other states about this. So maybe it's to ban auctions. Okay, cool. So then we'll just have like what they do in London, like a closed envelope, put your best and final. And is that going to help anyone?
This is the problem is that for me as a buyer, obviously, and as a seller, when we're working with the vendors as well, the most transparent, yes, maybe the most uncomfortable, but the most transparent way in which to sell a property is for everyone to stand on the street and everyone can see everyone and everyone puts their hands up and eventually the agent will call the property on the market and the property is unreserved and it's being sold to the highest bidder. Very transparent, very transparent. Do you know what is happening and which will take over the auction process now, particularly when you've got an agent who's dealing with a vendor who's potentially high on price, right? So they need to protect that vendor from their uncomfortably high reserve. Expressions of interest. And what happens for a buyer with expressions of interest? They go through the campaign, the vendor's up here on their price, the buyers come through, they come through. Eventually it works out. There's only one buyer.
Remember, this is a podcast and they can't see your friggin'
can't they? Aren't we getting filmed?
Well, we are, but that's only if they're watching us on YouTube.
But my words are still explaining it.
I'm just saying her.
I know. I'm literally like, here come the buyers. No, but they go through the process, right? We go through the 4-week campaign of the process and only one buyer now in this expressions of interest campaign comes forward as an interested party. That buyer is unaware of that fact.
Yeah.
And this agent's job is to get this buyer up on price to the level, the uncomfortably high reserve level of the vendor. So if that was an auction process, that buyer would see that they're the only one and no one else sees value at that level. It really might make them second guess what they're doing.
Might.
But
100% it will.
And it will also force the vendor into a position where maybe they might there was no one there at that price. I need to get more reasonable. But now with expressions of interest, no.
Well, you've just had a recent. You were representing a vendor in vendor advocacy. expressions of interest, one buyer, 100 grand difference between the two buyers or something.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me that's a better way to buy real estate.
Yeah.
Does that make you more comfortable? No.
It's very uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. So I think that will be really interesting. Looking forward to 2026, how that all plays out.
I already thought that's the change. That's where we were going in this year before they came out with this reserve thing with the auctions. I felt that was what was starting to happen with a lot of specific agents, certainly, and agencies. They were starting to realise with these types of properties where maybe we've only got one buyer, much better for them to close it and have it privately done so that buyer's unaware that they're the only one.
So by the time this podcast comes out, there was a property in Coburg that was quoted 125 to 135. It was a bit light on. So they've obviously had a pre-auction offer and now they've got on the realestate.com ad reserve 145.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the government wants the whole reason they want the statement of information was half to understand vendor expectations, but half to understand where it sits in the marketplace in comparison to other properties and where buyers see interest and we'll see where the value is.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. But then we're disclosing the vendor's reserve. So that's only half of what they're wanting to do because the reserve might be so far under where the market is. So then how's that helping?
I don't know. I understand the concept of trying to help.
Yes, I understand that they want more transparency in our game.
And I agree to a certain extent. I mean, for me, I'm used to our system, so I just go along with it. And my whole thing has always been, and I say this to people every single day of my life, is don't worry about what the agent says. I almost said then. Don't worry about what the agent says. Don't worry about what the vendor wants. What do you want to pay for it? What do you think it's worth? That's all you need to worry about.
Don't think about the quote range.
Don't look at it. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to you. You are going to be the buyer. Do you want to buy it at this price? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. I find it very straightforward. But I think everyone worries so much about what the agent said. The agent said, what?
Yeah.
Agent said, I don't even talk to them that much. Like before I buy something, I just work out what I think.
Yeah.
And then I need to know what other buyers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the other layer.
Yeah. But it's interesting.
I think we'll see no slowing of interstate investors next year. I think that we'll still see a lot of Victorian investors leave our market. So I think that I think stock levels next year will still be quite tight. But maybe even this reserve disclosure thing will push more people to sell off market. So realestate.com and domain.com, watch out. Revenue might be down. I definitely don't see any interest rate reductions.
No.
They won't be going anywhere. I think the market will stay pretty consistent from sentiment perspective and media perspective. I think it will stay pretty consistent. I don't think there will be major scares or major, booms. But I think we're going to continue to see the booming happening in the outskirts. Yeah.
Where the properties are quite big for around $1 million or under $1 million, and that's because of the combination of the first-time buyers and the interstate investors who are still just fighting it out. But I think inner ring.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, I just think it's like I'm looking at property now that's worth less than what people paid for it in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Inner.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got a place in the outer skirts of Melbourne, and let me tell you, I've never had more calls from more agents about can I get this buyer through?
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely not.
You're like, I'm about to finally see the growth I've been waiting for.
Exactly. But yeah. And also the rise of buyers advocates. Wow.
Massive.
That's going to be a thing in 2026. The REIV are coming out with more you have to do CPD points now, which is great because we're members of the REIV. We've been to 59 million events this year with them. But gee whiz, please do your research when you're going to work with a buyer's advocate, because they're a dime a dozen and they're electricians, and they'll be able to tell you if the electrical on the house are
Oh, no,
right.
they bought a property a few years ago.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It did pretty well.
It did well. Yeah.
And as we say, sourcing the property is about 1% of what we do. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Great year. Next
Well
year's
done.
going to be great.
Yeah.
And about that time, F, marry, kill.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
F, marry, kill.
Okay, girl. So it's a pretty complicated one.
You've got one for me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What are we effing, what are we killing, and what are we marrying?
Let's go.
2024, 2025, or 2026?
Kill 2024. F 2025. Marry 2026.
That was exactly what I was going to say. We're marrying our future, baby.
We're marrying our future. We love our past. You got us to where we're at.
Yeah.
I've loved this year. This year's been the most exciting year we've had so far. Our best year we've had by far. People.
Yeah.
But no, next year will be even better.
Oh, and just like, yeah.
I mean, actually, I should show you what I saved last night.
Okay.
It says 2026 and beyond. It's literally $20 million properties.
Okay, we're moving to Sydney.
No, on the bloody peninsula.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know how many of those are roaming around Coburg.
7 for sale right now. Yeah, I know. Coburg shit.
That's all right.
Yeah, anyway.
I'll be out in Wonga Park. They've got 20 mil properties out there.
They?
Yeah.
Where's Wonga Park?
Out in the Far East.
Far East.
Far East.
Templestowe?
Whoa, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Anyway, thanks for another amazing year, kids.
Yep, we've
for having
loved
us
it.
in your ears, and we'll see you next year.